Welcome to the Golf Spotlight. I'm Ralph Irvin, and today we're talking about the latest in footwear from the folks at Adidas Golf. So who else we're going to talk to but Mason Dennison. He's the man telling us all about the new shoes. Mason, thanks for joining us again.
Oh, thank you. I'm always happy to come on and talk to you about footwear. I love shoes. That's why I'm in footwear. I've been there a long time, and 2017 is an incredible lineup.
A massive lineup, a lot of options to fit a lot of different feet.
A lot of options, but I really like how we built the range architecture. So we tried to simplify it for the consumer and the buyer. So we really have a performance line, which is driven by the new power lineup that we'll get into, and our 360 lineup. We also have an Adicross lineup, then that's really for on and off course versatility. So we'll go into some of those, and then AdiPure, which is that refined, high-end, all leather product. So those three areas, sport performance, Adicross and AdiPure, and it's across men's and women's too. So the architecture of the line is really simple, and we can hit every consumer preference.
Well, let's talk about that power line, because you've got two shoes that people that have been following Adidas Golf have known for a long time.
We do. Powerband is something we came out with in 2006 and 7 for the first time, and it took the world by storm. It was the first time anyone spoke about a shoe giving you more power in the swing, and it was bold, and you remember it had the overlays on it, and we launched it on tour, and what's happened is it was a great product, but here we are almost 10 years later, and golf footwear's changed. Mm-hmm. So we had to make it lighter. We had to go back and re-engineer this product, and we brought in a technology we didn't use back then called BOA. And we also have things like Boost cushioning, and all this has come together to create something that is 10 years advanced from where we were and truly performs at a very high level.
Well, and one thing that you've changed is the shape of the footbed, so it's going to be ready to accommodate almost any foot.
And that's not a small thing, that's a big thing. Because I go to retail, I like to obviously watch people try on shoes. As the director of footwear, I need to hear what's going on, good and bad. And one of the things that people were challenged with at times was the width of our shoes. If you had a wider foot or a true wide, our shoes at times could be a little bit narrow. So what we did is right in that key area, the forefoot, the ball area, we made a little bit wider so your toes can spread. Couple things, that does make the shoe more comfortable, but also what we found in some of our shoe studies and people swinging and the foot mapping, you get more power when your toes can spread. Because when you can spread your toes, you can really push off. And a lot of the power that's generated is by pushing off with your feet during the swing. You see guys out there and they're almost coming out of their shoes as they're swinging. So having that wider foot, comfort's great, pushing off for power.
And it really is, that's how it lives up to its name as the Power Band, because it does help you generate power from your feet.
Yeah, and then we make the product look a little bit more bold, so we separate it further from the 360, not just by technology, by aesthetic and price point as well.
Then we go to the Adicross line, which people remember is coming out a few years ago and being a non-cleated alternative, but really, you've gone into some design areas that are very different, but very comfortable.
We have, and I'll say this, I think for us, Adicross is probably one of the most exciting areas the next couple years. Spikeless has kind of gone through this whole big movement. It's kind of saturated. I mean, I don't know if it's growing anymore. It's a big part of the business, but people are wondering what's next. Well, one of the great things I get to do, working for the great global Adidas brand, is I get to go and see what running category is doing, originals, all these things. You're going to start to see a bigger influence from what we're doing globally, from the brand as a whole coming to our golf line. And we do have a product called CrossKnit Boost. It was born out of the Ultra Boost tennis shoe, which was really the shoe of the year in 2016. I mean, every time they came out with an Ultra Boost color, it would sell out. Mm-hmm. And that's a great running product. We borrowed cues from that, and we made a golf shoe. We made it more stable. It's got full-length Boost foam. It's got a spikeless golf outsole. It looks really cool because it's got a knitted upper. That's what we can do. That's the power of the Three Stripe brand, is this global powerhouse that we can tap into and excite golf in a whole new way.
And then you go to the AdiPure line, which is absolute refinement, where it may or may not have the three stripes, but it's going to have the Adidas Golf technology inside.
Absolutely, and one of our key mantras is born a sport, rooted in golf. Adicross is almost more of the born a sport part of our mantra. Rooted in golf is things that we want to make sure people know we're a golf brand. There is a consumer out there, a staff guy out there that wants an all-leather shoe with a toned-down branding execution. Our AdiPure lineup delivers that. Hand-finished leathers, a true AdiPure-specific last that looks more like a dress shoe, but it still has technology. It's just more subtle, which that consumer wants. So we truly can hit every consumer preference across this lineup.
Well, if people want more information about the entire line and the technology inside, where can they get that info?
Go to adidasgolf.com, and you can find our footwear on all key major online retailers and at most key off-course and specialty and green grass shops as well. We're very proud of our shoes. And then how about the women's line? That's something that's amazing too. I know we haven't touched on that yet, but we went back to the drawing board and we said, let's redo the women's line. and we went out and did research. We found out how we wanted to do the fits, and we brought in Boost technology and AdiPure shoes, and I'm telling you, we're going to make an impact with the women's category in 2017.
All right, Mason, thanks as always for the time.
Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it, and it's going to be an exciting year.
I want to thank Mason Dennison for joining us here on the Golf Spotlight. Join us next time as we continue to give you the information that you need for your next golf purchase.